The forces that shape our lives in childhood are powerful. Youthful traumas can leave wounds that may never heal. And when we're isolated, it's easy to repeat the relationships that hurt us, because that's all we know. But love and kindness, whether from family, friends, or even strangers, can transform the deepest hurts into sources of strength. And sometimes it takes many such relationships for a person to make peace with the past and move forward. Sometimes it takes a whole village to stand with a person in the face of life's challenges. For Angelica, individuals, a faith community, and a secular community gave her the support she needed to break multi-generational patterns of isolation, pain, and poverty, to create a new and wonderful life for herself and her children.
I've been through a lot when I was a child growing up in a rough Chicago neighborhood. I saw a lot of bad things go down in my neighborhood, drug deals and shootings. My family had lots of problems too. As a kid, I ended up being molested by my mother's boyfriend. And my mother was so messed up by her own history of abuse that when it came down for her to choose between me or her boyfriend, for a time, she chose her boyfriend. I even went to foster care for a while. Now that I'm an adult, I do understand that my mother couldn't be the kind of mother that I needed because of her own childhood and how messed up it was. We get along much better now, and we can talk. It's been a long journey, and there have been lots of friendships and other kinds of relationships that helped me get here. They say that God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes I think I had to go through all those bad things so I could appreciate the good relationships with people I now know. I've been blessed with lots of people who've impacted me for the better. One particular relationship that really had a positive impact on me when I was a child was with my godfather. He was there to teach me the right way. My head, it just wasn't clear. I wasn't thinking right, but he was there for me. He was able to teach me that you don't think just for the moment. Rather, you think about things for the long term. And that made me start thinking about goals. I really didn't know that people are supposed to plan out their lives. Well, that had a huge impact on me because still today I find myself doing that. I find myself thinking, what's my plan for the next 3 months? Where do I want to be 6 months from now? Another relationship is one with my girlfriend, Alice. I'm really not so keen on my kids being around just anyone, but I love her. And she's one of those that I know that I want to be with. Every relationship has its ups and its downs, and that's life. Main thing I'm saying is that she's in my corner. And when we have misunderstandings, Alice and I'll say, okay, let's just think about this first. That's had a really big impact on my life. When I first came to Ames, I decided that maybe I needed to go to church. And this guy on a bus invited me to a Baptist church here in town. I went with my girlfriend, Alice, and that's when I met Dee Dee. She's probably my best white friend now. At first, she was talking to my girlfriend because I think she noticed that I really don't like to talk. Then one day, she asked me if she could take me out to lunch. And she was asking me, well, what about you, Angelica? So when my daughter was born, it seemed like we became even closer. And she's a friend I can talk to, and we can go to things together, and we can go to dinner, and we go to things, and we just laugh, and we have fun. And when I'm having a hard time, though, I can talk to Dee Dee. And I ask her for advice, and I'll say, what should I do? She is very kind and sweet. When there's things that I don't understand, she'll even explain them to me. And she is my baby daughter's godmother, too. The people at my church are all different nationalities or races, and they are very sweet, very kind, and very open. I like them a lot. I have a lot of friends at my church, and they aren't all my color, African American. When you're around only blacks, like I was in Chicago, it was easy to be prejudiced to something that you haven't been introduced to. I was prejudiced. I mean, now I have Caucasian friends who I can talk to. In Chicago, if a Caucasian person came to your door, it was probably the police or something like that. For sure, it wasn't somebody dropping by to be supportive. When I lived in Chicago, I never got the chance to meet a Caucasian person or people, different kinds of people. When I came to Ames, I got affiliated with Beyond Welfare and that support system. I mean, here I meet people of all different races and nationalities, and it's a lot more positive than negative. And being a part of Beyond Welfare nowadays means a lot to me. I don't come to Beyond Welfare on Thursday night meetings anymore just because there's something that I want. Now I come to Beyond Welfare meetings because I like it, because of the support there. You know, I used to write a lot of things, like books, plays, and about the stuff I've gone through. But for some reason, I just stopped. And after I met the director of Beyond Welfare and some of the leaders there, they got me to start thinking, I can be doing that stuff again. I want you to know that I'm not coming to Ames just for a minute either. I want to raise my kids here. I've come to Ames to better myself and my children. I can't raise my kids the way I was raised. I just can't. I want my kids to go to college, and if they don't, I want them to work at jobs. I have been through a lot of stuff, and I want things to be different for my children.